Although I have to say this is a First Amendment audit fail, I did enjoy the conversation I had with Officer Stern. My final thoughts are this. It is not a felony or a misdemeanor to be filming outside of any part of any police department or station in America. But aside from that, I think the officer had a few decent points, and I really enjoyed having that conversation. Thanks for watching, people. So, as far as you know, I'm not detained?
My partner asked me to hang on with you, and that's what I'm doing. Okay.
Okay, so am I free to go?
Sir, hold on a second. If you ask questions and I can't give you the full answer, it's
Sure.
hard for me to explain to you what's going on.
All right.
Okay. So, let me tell you what happened. All right. We had a couple people call and/or report to our dispatcher that there's some people that are suspiciously going around filming security areas, okay, of campus property. And just so you know, if you're student, staff, or faculty, and you're in an area that is not commonly open to the public or is a secured area, that is a concern that we should definitely look into, because we are paid to come out and protect
Okay, is your
the
concern a
university and the
felony or a
property.
misdemeanor?
Well, that could potentially be a misdemeanor.
Okay, so am I being detained here?
From what I can tell, yes, you are being detained.
Okay, so I'm not free to go.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you today?
Not too bad. What's going on?
I'm just hanging out.
Okay. Is there a particular reason why you and another person were filming the license plates of the vehicles in the lot?
I have no idea about any of that.
No.
I've been out here up front.
Okay. Are you with that gentleman right over there?
Don't want to answer that question.
Okay, fair enough. Hang out with my partner.
Hey, how's it
Cool.
going?
So am I being detained here, or am I free to go?
Well, there's definitely a security concern, so we're just trying to figure out what you're up to.
Okay, well, my question is, are you detaining me?
Well, my partner's the one to talk to you. He'd be better asked.
Okay, right on. So let's walk with
Well,
me over
hold on a
there.
second. No, you're not. I'm not going to have you walk around. That's
Oh.
a safety issue. Just hang on 1 second. We're not going to take up any more time than we
Okay,
have to.
right on. Well,
Are you affiliated with the university in any way, shape, or form?
I'm not answering that question.
Okay.
If you think that he says I'm detained, so as far as you know, I'm not detained?
My partner asked me to hang on with you, and that's what I'm doing. Okay.
Okay, so
But
am
will
I
tell
free
you
to
that-
go?
Sir, hold on a second. If you ask questions and I can't give you the full answer, it's
Sure.
hard for me to explain to you what's going on.
All right.
Okay. So let me tell you what happened. All right. We had a couple people call and/or report to our dispatcher that there's some people that are suspiciously going around filming security areas, okay, of campus property. And just so you know, if you're student, staff, or faculty, and you're in an area that is not commonly open to the public or is a secured area, that is a concern that we should definitely look into, because we are paid to come out
Okay,
and protect
is your
the
concern a
university and the
felony or a
property.
misdemeanor?
Well, that could potentially be a misdemeanor.
Okay, so am I being detained here?
From what I can tell, yes, you are being detained.
Okay, so I'm not free to go.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. From my perspective, it is
Oh,
reasonable
okay.
cause or reasonable suspicion for me to believe that crime could be afoot. Okay, particularly if you're not student, staff, or faculty, and you have not answered that
Okay,
question.
well, you let me know when you're done investigating so I can leave, all right?
Yeah, believe me, I would like to get on with my day too.
I mean, cool
Okay.
beans, thank you.
I've never seen you two gentlemen before, but I take it you're not interested in helping me out to let you go in soon.
I'm not interested in speaking to you unless I have some legal obligation to do so.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Okay,
You don't
cool,
have
right on, thank you. I appreciate you, respecting my rights so far. And so far as respecting my civil rights, you're doing a really good job right now. So I'd like to encourage more of that.
Okay, well, thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother. You're welcome.
I mean, I don't need to see anybody get in trouble or any of that kind of stuff. We just want to figure out what's going on.
Oh, I totally understand. I totally understand. But from my perspective, civil rights is very important.
Oh,
and
yeah.
to audit those and make sure that those are respected is very important to me.
Well, as somebody who has gone overseas for the Army twice,
Mm-hmm.
and then as a sworn police officer, has the responsibility of protecting your rights.
Mm-hmm.
I hold those high, extremely high. I mean,
Mhm.
I put, as far as things go in my life,
Mhm.
I put God and country, and I feel that country is,
Mhm.
founded on those rights. I mean, that's the whole principle that makes America great, is those rights.
I
So,
can't say that I disagree with that, man. That's really awesome to hear that coming from a law enforcement officer. Thanks, man.
Sure. My community is also up there very high as well.
Right.
Just
Okay.
wanna
Yeah.
make
I
that
got you. I
clear.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I have responsibility, for doing my job and protect those rights. And I think that people sometimes forget that, police officers, we're supposed to be experts in those rights, and sometimes we get looked at as, persons who try to overcome certain things in order to accomplish whatever goal that police officer might have. But in reality, what's going on is, hey, our number one objective is, in the course of doing our job, is to protect people.
Well, I think a lot of this comes
It
down
also
to
keeps us out of trouble too. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, of
Go
course.
ahead.
Yeah, a lot of this comes down to other officers. Unfortunately, when they do violate people's rights, so they overstep their duties as a cop and trample rights in the name of security or whatever, it reflects negatively upon you. Like, it's kind of unfair, but if some cop does something really egregious in Oregon or in the Midwest, if that video goes viral, then it makes your job harder. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's that whole
100%.
Ferguson effect thing.
We get our reputation is sometimes based on some other decision some other police officer made some other location.
Yeah.
During a very unusual or even a common circumstance for that area. I mean,
Yeah.
You look at law enforcement in general, there's over 500,000 law enforcement officers in the country. We make thousands, if not tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of contacts a day. Out of the hundreds of millions of different conversations law enforcement has, or circumstances where we have to make an arrest or use force to prevent somebody from getting hurt, there's going to be police officers that are unfortunately, out of those millions of contacts, are going to make a mistake every now and then, or even worse, intentional. And
Right.
It's very unfortunate that the other 4900,999 officers that year have to suffer through
Right.
the reputation that one other officer made.
Right on.
So,
So yeah, I mean, I can tell you this though. I can share this much information with you. I've filmed 900 easy police interactions with the public. I have, if you count all my YouTube channels where I upload videos, it's probably about 2,000 videos on the web. And I have to tell you, the majority of the interactions that I have with cops are friendly, like this one.
good.
But that's unfortunately not what the internet wants to see. They want to see when you do violate my rights and they get angry and cuss you out. The internet feeds off of that kind of interaction, and that's kind of BS.
If you happen to monetize, I don't doubt that most of your money comes from those videos you're showing. And then unfortunately what happens is somebody clicks on one of those videos and then the next videos they see are all these videos of cops doing stuff that may be inappropriate, and they don't get to see. And I'll be honest with you, the positive things I do all day long, every day, they don't feel newsworthy because they're not interesting enough for people to see.
Right.
And so unfortunately,
That's part of American culture. That whole the idiom that rings true in corporate media, also in the alternative press. If it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
And that's just a thing about human nature.
And then it creates a culture where everybody thinks that these can't be trusted, when the reality is that's not accurate representation of our profession.
Well,
Or at least that's my belief.
well,
anyway.
yeah, that's your understanding, and mine comes from the perspective of someone who spent quite a few years of his life homeless. My teenage years, my young adult time, I spent homeless in some really unsavory places around the country, and I have to say that that population specifically, the statistical probability of someone like that being harmed by law enforcement is greater than other people in our society. So that colors and skews my perspective of what you guys are like because of that life experience, and it's unfortunate, but people that are poor, people that are homeless do more often get mistreated by law enforcement, and that's a societal thing. It's not necessarily something that's unique to law enforcement culture, but our whole society in general has certain kinds of attitudes about cops and whatnot, and our homeless folks, and poor people, and that's reflected in policing, and it's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Hey man, how are you?
If ever you want to, I value your input.
Right, I'm cool.
I don't share exactly the same perspective. I think that there's an explanation for a lot of different things, but there's always room for disagreement. And if ever you want to sit down and we can talk about that, your perceptions and or perspectives.
Sure.
I think it would be valuable for the both of us.
I think so. I think so.
So.
Yeah. It's all a matter of trying to find some kind of common ground. How you doing?
Officer Stern, do we have any other business that we need to attend to with these gentlemen?
No, but I would just caution you real quick, not from my perspective as a police officer, but just recognize we are on university property, and if you don't happen to be student, staff, or faculty, we could possibly get other calls, and if we do get other calls, we would have the authority to ask you to leave campus, and I don't want to see you do that.
Okay, I got you.
I'm okay with you guys being here today. Is that, do you have any issues over there? Did you talk to him?
Oh, we spoke.
Okay. I just wanted you to be aware.
Yeah. That it could be a potential, let's see if I
Right.
understand,
This
it could
is
be
a-
a potential trespass issue if
You could
another
look at it-
university
I
staff
don't know what
calls
the
us.
best way to liken it. Almost like an airport. Like you wouldn't want
Okay.
people going around filming an airport, and this is
Sure.
a quasi-governmental institution with laws that apply specifically to non-affiliated. You could accidentally see yourselves get in trouble, and I don't want to see that happen for either of you folks. Just putting that up front. This is not a normal
Situation for
city or community. It's a little different.
It's somewhere between private and public, like you said,
Right.
quasi. I
And
get
you
it.
think
Like
about
shopping malls is
you think about
similar.
it this way too. Maybe it's to apply a little sympathy for me because now I'm being filmed by two people. But the students, particularly, they pay a great deal amount of money to expect a certain service.
Yeah.
But also that their peace isn't going to be disturbed. That they can go uninhibited through the community. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars a year. So they have a certain expectation. So we just want to make sure that we don't infringe on their rights.
Oh, I got
and
you.
maintain the peace on this community.
Well, I think after this contact, I'm pretty much done here. But I have to reiterate that I appreciate your comments on the Constitution and the respect of civil rights in general, and I appreciate that. You know, I love hearing that from cops when I have an interaction. So thank you.
Okay, well, good. No,
Yeah,
thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, gentlemen.
All right, this is my business card.
Okay,
You can share it with your...
Robert. Hope you don't mind. I'm Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And if you want to find my video where we had this conversation, it's Mike BlueHair on YouTube.
Mike BlueHair.
Yeah.
I feel like because YouTube sometimes is good research. I think I've seen you before. I think I do recognize you.
Maybe my stuff. I have videos with a couple million views on them.
Yeah.
A few of them. So yeah, if you want to write that down, you might be able to see my stuff if you
Okay,
write Mike
Mike.
BlueHair on your card.
Gentlemen, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
That is an interesting logo you got there. Okay, I'll just keep my thoughts to myself on that one. All right. Well, thank you. Unless you have any questions.
No, man, I'm good.
All right.
But do check out my channel because I want you to see the good interaction that's of you online because I think it's important.
Okay.
I gave your partner my business card.
Okay. Then we'll check it out later.
All right, see you around, guys.
All right, gentlemen. Take care.
All right.